Hi and welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that have been linked with a January transfer move to Arsenal. Got to say, it's quite a quiet transfer day today. A lot of that due to the fact that, of course, Arsenal taking on Crystal Palace today. And anytime you find it, and anytime when there's an actual game going on, there's less rumours because a lot of outlets are concentrating on the game. A lot of people are looking forward to the game. And of course, it's the first game of the Saturday as well. So not lots and lots of rumours flying around today about Arsenal. But this one caught the eye, and that's about Mustafi. Shkodran Mustafi looks like he could be on his way out of Arsenal Football Club. Now, he's been linked with a host of clubs. But the club that looks like they definitely want to bring him in is Galatasaray. Now, I told you earlier on in the week that Mustafi had changed agents and he's got a new management company looking after him. And apparently they have been in talks with Galatasaray over a move for Mustafi. Now, it's not known whether this move is going to be a loan move or whether this move is going to be a permanent move. Arsenal want to move him on a permanent move. Of course, they'll take a massive hit because they paid £35 million for him. There's no way Galatasaray are going to pay anything near that. It's going to have to be a hit. But it would get the £90,000 a week wages off of the wage bill for Arsenal and also move on a player that, let's face it, he's just not having a great time at Arsenal. He hasn't for quite a long time now. And he needs a new challenge and Arsenal need a new centre-back. So I think it would be best for both parties. But Galatasaray do look to be the club that are the favourites to take Mustafi this January. And then that opens up the way for Jerome Boateng. That rumour is still flying around today. Boateng, it's said that Arsenal are very interested in, have made inquiries to Bayern Munich about. Of course, he's a top-class centre-back and can play right-back. In the decline, we know we've gone into it a lot over the past few weeks, and is 31 now as well, so getting older as well. But could Arsenal make a move for him? They'd prefer to bring him in on loan. Bayern will probably only listen to a permanent offer for him. Would he be what we need right now? Could he be a short-term fix if we could get him on a... I mean, listen, if it was a loan, and I remember I was chatting to Curtis on the show about this the other day, maybe a loan would be a sensible thing. He can also play as a right-back as well, and we know that we're short in that area. But I think if it's a permanent deal, I'm not feeling it at all. But it could happen. You know, we heard what Arteta said yesterday about the balance of the team and wanting to bring in players that are going to balance it out. He could be an option, especially in a window where Arsenal are not looking to spend huge amounts of money. And then, of course, Upamecano, who we've spoken about a lot throughout the window, that looks definitely dead. The rumours are that Arsenal did actually make a bid for him this January, which was flatly turned down by RB Leipzig. And RB Leipzig sending the word out to all clubs that he's going nowhere this January. So everybody's just kind of backed away from Upamecano now because they just know that January, it's just not going to get done. However, it could be a move that Arsenal could go back in for in the summer and try to see if they could bring Upamecano in. If they do, they're going to face a lot of competition from Barcelona because Barcelona are said to be also very, very interested in him. Manchester United are interested in him. There'll be lots of clubs queuing up. Maybe this is the reason why Arsenal would have been prepared to make a big outlay this January to try and get him, because they know that come the summer, it'll be even more difficult to get him, especially if, as is probably likely, they won't have Champions League football. So the Upamecano thing looks like that has got no chance of happening. Emil Smith-Rowe has left Arsenal on a season-long loan, or should I say half a season long now, that we're in January, and he's gone to Huddersfield Town. He's going to get a lot of game time there. Said yesterday that he's really looking forward to the challenge. I think this is a good move for him to a championship club. And I think, you know, they've got themselves a very good player. As a player, I really, really rate Emil Smith-Rowe. Really unlucky last season because he was really, really doing well for Arsenal. got a great loan move to RB Leipzig, then got injured. And that really sort of set him back, come back to Arsenal, has been a bit injured in and out. If he can get a lot of game time under his belt, I really do see him as a top talent that could return back to Arsenal and could really make a name for himself in that Arsenal midfield. But Emil Smith-Rowe got out on loan to Huddersfield, and we wish him all the best of luck, and hopefully that can be a successful loan period for him. And he's going to get himself a lot of game time there. He really is going to get himself a lot of game time. And yesterday I spoke about Eddie Nketiah. We're speaking about him literally every day. There are so many clubs interested in him. So many clubs. Now, some of those clubs are championship clubs in Bristol City, in Nottingham Forest, Sheffield Wednesday. And some of those clubs are Premier League clubs. Most notable ones, Aston Villa, Norwich. Now, Arteta was sort of questioning about it yesterday, and he said that, listen, wherever he goes and gets the most sort of game time, so it doesn't look like he's against him going to another Premier League club in, say, Aston Villa or going to Norwich, but I think the main thing they're looking for is for him to go to somewhere where he's going to play. That's why they brought him back from Leeds. They were a bit disappointed with the fact that he wasn't starting. He was just coming off of the bench all the time. And even though the Leeds fans absolutely loved him and were really gutted that he left, Arsenal looking on it that, listen, we're trying to develop this player with the hope of being able to bring him back to Arsenal so that he can figure in the first team. And it's going to be no good him just sitting all the time, basically on the bench and just getting the odd cameo. If he's going to do that, may as well stay at Arsenal. So it's going to be interesting to see where Eddie ends up. And I really wonder which sort of challenge will be best for his development. Would it be good for him to, say, for instance, go to Aston Villa, really high-profile team in the Premier League, in a relegation battle, lots and lots of pressure? Or would it be better for him to go to somewhere like Bristol City, where the pressure will be less, but he'll be looked upon as a main man. He'll get game time each and every week. There won't be the scrutiny on him if he misses a chance, etc. This is an important loan for Eddie, a really important loan for him. And it's going to be really important that they make the right decision on deciding where to loan him out. But he could be at any of those clubs. And then, of course, John Jules, who I spoke about yesterday, he's gone out on loan now to Lincoln City. That's been confirmed. So he's on loan to Lincoln City. So again, another one of our young players, striker, who's going to get lots and lots of playing time whilst he's over there. And again, wishing him all the best of luck. It's really a chance for these players to develop. Loan moves can go two ways. You can get a player who goes out on loan, who really sees it as an opportunity and says, you know what, I'm going to give this everything. I'm really going to do my best to succeed at this club. And it really, really works out for them. You get other people who go out on loan moves, and sometimes they're not really in that loan. They wanted to stay at the parent club and fight for their place. And they go and they don't put it in. They don't like the training facilities. Maybe it's not what they're used to, say, at Arsenal and stuff like that. And basically they walk around in a sulk, and then the loan move doesn't work out. But I'm hoping that these three guys in Emil Smith-Rowe, Eddie Nketiah and John Jules, all young players, really embrace this and see this as a chance where they can really develop and flourish and come back to Arsenal and really make a career for themselves in the first team. Finally, Arsenal being linked with a goalkeeper today. Let me just see if I get his name right. It's called Ionut Radu. He's a Romanian, plays for Inter Milan. He's 22 and really, really highly thought about across Europe. He's not in Inter's first team, but lots of clubs looking at him, not just Arsenal. Lots of clubs really, really interested in him. Arsenal said to be interested in taking him on a permanent deal, if that is possible. However, Inter Milan do not want to sell him. He's only 22, as I said, but they see him as a top-class keeper. They don't want to sell him, and they're looking to hold on to him. But it depends what offer, what money was to come through to see whether that could happen or not. But he being linked with a move with Arsenal today. So listen, thanks for watching the show today. Looking forward to the game. Arsenal taking on Crystal Palace. It's a big one. It's going to be really interesting to see how the team gets on. And also, you know, these games sort of drive what happens with transfers. A massive win. Team's doing really well. There's less and less pressure on the manager to bring players in. A defeat, people start looking at areas where maybe we need a defender. You know, so really, really does have an impact on transfers. Thanks for watching the show, and we'll be back tomorrow.